guys, welcome to This Sucks, a podcast where we rate the worst things on the internet.
The worst, all of them. Video games, movies, shows, whatever you can think of.
Yeah, I'm Issa.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Genesis.
And I'm Mauro.
So today, we watched a movie rated horribly on IMDb called 2025.
Let me pull up all the ratings.
What does everyone think of the year 2025 so far? In comparison to this movie, I would say mine is going pretty well.
Yeah, I think in comparison to the movie, I think we're all...
Yeah, I think we're
I
all
hope
doing
we're all
pretty well.
doing better than the movie was.
Yeah, I really hope
To be
so,
honest.
too. I feel like Genesis knows the most.
Okay,
of
I'm
the
gonna
lore, so-
lore dump and I'm
Yeah.
gonna describe it. So essentially, this has a 1.0 rating on IMDb, 1.2 rating on Letterboxd, and a 7% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
The
Really good.
I mean, that's single digits.
Yeah,
with Rotten
yeah,
Tomatoes,
that's yikes.
and based on 2.7 thousand reviews on IMDb, and it's based on, let's see, 3.2 thousand reviews on Letterboxd.
So pretty bad, I'd say.
Pretty bad.
Yeah,
1,200.
yeah.
People didn't like it.
I'm going to read the description quickly. So the movie formally is called it's called 2025: The World Enslaved by a Virus, and the description reads
enslaved?
enslaved.
Yeah, enslaved's a bit of a word.
The description reads,
That's so
we are in 2025. Since the appearance of COVID-19 in 2020, the world is no longer the same. A new system with a single world government has been put in place. That's all he wrote for that. And essentially the background to this film is it's classified as faith-based, and it was written, directed, and starred in by the same few people. And yeah, so before we go into the background from my research, we'll go around and say what we all thought of the movie. So we'll start on this side.
Yeah. It's gonna be a half star from me on Letterboxd.
It's gonna be a no from
Yes.
me. That was, I
Yeah,
really tried to find like the potential or like, you know, where it could have gone right, but personally it's just not a watch that I would ever partake in ever again.
Like, even just looking at it, like, visually, like, you didn't even have to have the volume on. Like, it was just
Real.
bad. It was really hard to look at and kind of distressing even.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 1 star.
Whoa.
The effort was
Bold.
there. I will say
I
they put a lot of effort into it. Whether that translated into real production quality is definitely arguable. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it could go into the category of those like, hate watch movies where it's like, you watch it because you hate it,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's not even close. Like, it's just bad.
yeah, it's
You
really
don't-
bad.
You don't have a fun time. Like,
Yeah, no.
it's just boring.
If
It
we're
was
doing
mad.
stars, definitely a half star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From me.
And technically wise, like not even the plot line is not there for sure. I think everybody can agree with that. We had to keep every time there was an ad break, we had to like recap the movie and figure out what was actually going on. So the plot line wasn't there, but technical ability was also not there.
It wasn't there.
A lot of the shots were very overexposed, desaturated. The cuts were really weird. It was really hard to just follow along with the pacing. The scenes were also really long. Like there was a lot of talking and not a lot of like action. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah. For some context, the director and the main actor are the same
The same
person.
guy. Like,
So
so
you can
why would he
already-
do that?
Literally, in
Why
the
would
beginning
he
of the
do-
movie, he had the most beautiful lighting on him, like
Yeah.
perfect. And then it cut to like the other side characters, and they're like in the dark, like grainy.
no,
like
that was really sick. I mean, we're gonna say spoilers on here. Like, if you,
Yeah.
you don't need to watch
Come on
it
now.
So
at all. You don't
spoiler
need to
warning
watch it.
right now. We're gonna start talking
Yeah.
about the plot. So if you want to go watch it for yourself, you might want to pause this and then come back to it later. But I guess we'll start talking about the plot.
Yeah, he made himself kiss the pretty girl. Like he did.
Okay,
he set
well, I
that
think we're
up, and that
jumping a
was so
little-
wrong.
We're going
That
a
was
little far.
so wrong.
Let's
and I
start-
had to bring it up.
Let's start
Okay.
from
I'm
the
sorry.
beginning.
Let's try to build it up.
That was
little
a
bit.
teaser for y'all to watch till the end to actually find out what happened. But like,
No, it wouldn't.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think the first we'll talk about the ending. The ending is a whole.
I think a good basis is
Okay, yeah, you
to
go.
understand that the world is set up to be a kind of, like apocalyptic
Yes,
kind of
it's
feeling
very dystopian.
where we are told that communism is rampant.
Yes.
There has been an established universal language, which was English.
English.
Christianity.
Though some would argue it
Christianity was
German.
outlawed.
Yeah.
Literally.
What was it? Christianity, specifically Christianity, is illegal now. So,
Right. But everything else is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's fair game. Ice cream is also illegal in this world
Yeah.
for some odd
Yeah.
reason. So the movie starts with a chase scene, of course. The main character is in a broken vehicle being chased by what looks to be like some makeshift police in a black BMW with one little siren attached.
It was just a blue light.
Michelle's laughing.
That's another thing. To preface, this movie was blue.
Yes, extremely
Okay.
blue.
Yeah.
A lot of LED lights.
Every single scene had some blue. If it was a sliver of light or if the entire room was blue, everything was blue.
Exactly.
Really weird. It wasn't even like for tone purposes either. It was
Nope.
they just like the color blue.
Yeah, like was it supposed to be like a connection there, like to?
Is that symbolic?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I
know.
don't think it. The color,
Is
his
bad
color
coloring
is
The
blue.
coloring
Yeah.
could have definitely
Right?
been worked on. The color grading could have definitely been worked on for sure, and the lighting, and the camera settings, essentially everything.
And the editing
Everything.
and the
Yeah.
cinematography
Yes,
and the
everything.
writing
And
the
the casting,
acting
too.
and-
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it was not.
For those watching the video, maybe I'll insert some clips,
Oh,
various
okay.
clips of
Okay.
maybe the trailer or something. But other than that, then he gets pulled into this interrogation room, and they bring him the Bible from his own home and a book of, I guess, German laws. And he begins to explain to the interrogation officer how communism has essentially ruined his life. And he starts reading the laws in which have been taken away from this one world order supposedly in the last 5 years, which is extremely unrealistic. In German.
So
by
the
the way.
officer's
Yeah,
just
so-
the American officer
He's just looking at him.
sitting there like,
What's going on?
yeah, like okay, not my problem.
Yeah. And do we want to talk about, someone wants to talk about the hacker?
Whoa.
Right.
Okay.
The scene that changed
Yeah.
lives.
So there's just a scene.
So there's this hacker.
Yeah, there's just a hacker just with like a unicorn in the corner.
Yes.
And
Very
like,
distracting.
She was just going at it, and we didn't know who she was, and then she popped out of nowhere, and.
Yeah, it was like anonymous at first, but then they were like, "Wait."
But then it was like
girl
a goth
boss.
chick.
Yeah, and she was goth because that was their diversity
Yeah,
hire.
that was, yeah.
The color at the
Definitely.
end killed.
Bro,
Yeah.
literally.
Speaking of diversity, notably, there was not a single person of color
No.
in that
Not
movie.
that.
I wouldn't
No.
think
There
so.
was
Not
not
even
a
in the
single
stock
person of color.
footage.
No, not even in the stock footage either.
I noticed.
There was
that.
a lot of
let's-
stock
let's
footage
talk about the
clips.
stock footage. So, like,
Oh my gosh.
like what?
So there was a big flashback. He was talking about all of the things have been
Yes,
taken
that's
away,
what I remember.
and there was a montage of just stock footage that was very off-putting. It definitely took you out of the world that you were in for a second, because everybody was able to oh, that's stock footage. It was really
so
bad.
they were just like, back in my days.
Yeah,
and then it was
essentially.
like a Taylor Swift concert.
And I mean, it was mostly either like a concert, a video of a
was
concert,
like iPhone
or
footage.
just
or like people eating dinner.
just a
Yeah.
bunch of people eating dinner.
at a wedding, or I don't even know. And yeah, that was the stock footage portion. But other than that, back to the hacker person, it was like a weird YouTube video looking screen. There was like an RGB mouse in there. And
Yeah.
she
You
was
need to have it.
supposedly able to hack into the entire government and look at Wikipedia to figure out what Christianity was. So Christianity is outlawed, but you were able to find information about it on Wikipedia.
Right.
Yes.
And
Christianity.
And Google.
Yeah.
Google was
The
on there too.
graffiti.
The graffiti.
I don't know
Oh.
if you were like pissed about that.
Okay,
Because
Moto, go.
Why was I?
you're just like,
'Cause-
they can't do that.
Okay, so at one point, it was the main character.
To spread Christianity.
Yes, it was the main character and his sister. They went out and they were like, we need to find people that are also Christian, and we need to connect with them in order to, spread Christianity again. And what they go ahead and do is they go outside and they put on masks, because coronavirus is supposedly still going on, I
But they
believe.
share a room.
Yes.
Without masks.
And
They
also
live in an
that wasn't
abandoned
necess-
house.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily a plot point, but I guess it's just the consequences of coronavirus.
Right.
Yes,
And then they still were
exactly.
wearing masks.
Yeah.
But however, they went out with graffiti, like spray bottles, and they just started painting in the woods a symbolic fish, which I was told is
It's
Which we
tied to
learned.
Christianity.
Yeah.
is tied to
Had no
Christianity
idea.
in some manner.
I'll
but
put
they
it
were
up there for visual.
Yeah.
They-
Also
they
was
were-
blue. Like,
Also with
Also blue.
yeah.
Yeah.
it was they went out into the woods in order to paint the graffiti onto trees, the ground.
yeah,
Which
leaves
is
just
too.
full of
like
leaves.
that are like flowing with wind. Like
Yeah, so
like they
essentially
do it
doing
and it's
nothing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I just got mad / pissed because I'm like, that's not gonna do anything at the end of the day.
Not to mention they did it horribly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
be,
yeah,
like,
sucked.
spots
They just
they'd
couldn't.
do it and there'd be, like,
They didn't
patches
do
of,
another
like-
take. They just did it and failed miserably. Not to. I'm sure this was a coincidence for them. Good for them. They found a bench that read "F Jesus,"
Yeah.
and they just spray painted
Yeah.
a fish horribly over that. Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
They had to have done that before. They were like, how do we make this more meaningful? I hate Jesus on a bench.
On a bench. On a bench.
We're
And then
thinking.
in the public, they did it in a tunnel somewhere as well.
Underneath a bridge.
Underneath a bridge.
Yeah.
And the entire premise or the entire purpose of this was to essentially spread Christianity and motivate Christian people to be Christian. I'm not really sure exactly what the intended purpose
Right.
was, but I was like, he said something about, oh, maybe this will inspire people to like, you know, still be Christian or like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the purpose was like if people were to see that symbol to be like, oh, there's still Christians.
Yeah,
here.
there's still people out
But
there
they
believing.
did it in the middle of the woods. So
see
Right,
that I
that's
just
the-
got that.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I didn't even
But the
realize
thing
that
is,
was
it's not
in the
even.
woods.
It isn't
Yeah,
fun to
it's-
work
Yeah,
'cause
like
it's
again,
in the middle of the woods
they
and
did-
under tunnels.
They drew it
Like,
under a bridge.
yeah,
Like,
and- yeah.
are Christians specifically gonna go under the bridge to look
Right.
for
Yeah,
it?
they
Like,
did it in the most
Yeah.
secluded areas and it made no sense because who's ever going to see that?
Yeah, and
But-
at
yeah.
first I was like, okay, we're in like an abandoned area, like sure.
Yeah.
It was like a town of 5 people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
but then
that
at the
was
end of the
it.
movie, we see like buildings and stuff. So I'm like, y'all could have gone to the buildings and like
No,
talked to
literally.
people. I don't know.
that, and not to mention there was also like a lack of variety of like places, like settings in the movie. Like there was maybe 5 different settings that you would like ping pong back and forth from, like the abandoned house that the Christians they had
which was
lived
one
in,
room.
which was
It's
one
not
room.
even a house.
Yeah, it's
It was a
room.
singular room. There was there was 2 chairs but no bed, so 3 people
Christmas
sleeping.
They were
tree.
sleeping on the ground.
Yeah, they were
That was so sick.
cut
They were
to a
sleeping
scene
on
of
the
them all,
ground.
And they're
Great,
all,
on the
like,
ground,
on
yes.
the floor,
No,
using like
communism
their arms.
is when floor sleep.
Yeah.
Like, bro, why I felt bad a little. I was like, y'all stand up. Like,
stand
no.
No, actually.
Use your jackets.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think we can also talk about the script. I think there was
Oh,
some
yes.
interesting things that were said.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was the token white guy. First time you've heard that.
The
like, ever,
American.
probably. But yeah, the American. And
Token American.
he had just come into this little squad. He was like, oh, like, you know, they were making conversation.
The movie said
And-
it in Germany, by the way.
In
sorry.
Germany, yes.
In Germany, but
Yeah, there
there's
was
a
just an
Marine there.
American.
Like,
Would never
period,
know.
like-
It was in
Yeah.
English
Never
though.
know.
yeah,
It wasn't in
That
German.
protagonist and his sister had a German accent. And
Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
whatever was going on. But then she was like, oh, like, where'd you live? But like also in like not in like a chill, relaxed way. It was like the acting was like really bad. So add that as a layer. And then he was like, oh, I don't know where I am, but I live like 20 minutes from here. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, like we didn't know where they were, and they didn't know where they were.
I didn't know it was in Germany. Like one,
Me
till
neither.
Mauro said it, and then 2, like at the very end there was like signs in German, and I was like, oh, we're in Germany. I thought it was just like, I
Not to mention, every conversation scene only had 2 shots.
Oh,
And
yeah.
two
Oh
Yeah,
my
that-
God.
I wanted
Oh
to
my
bring that
gosh,
up. You
there was
know?
no variety of
That was
angles
so
there.
sick.
No
And
close up.
but the thing is that those conversations went on for like 5 minutes
That's-
minimum.
Yes.
So we're
Yes.
looking at a conversation
Very
between
long.
2 people, which are shifting from a like just like a front head-on like medium shot into another one, which is like an over the shoulder.
Yes.
And then we just keep flipping.
But it was
between
really
the two.
awkward. Yeah.
And one of them would have beautiful lighting.
Yes,
And
literally that.
and the other one would
Literally
be in the
that.
dark. It literally made no sense. But okay, so later on in the movie, I looked at the time because I was like, how long is left? And it had been an hour 15, and we were like, there's no way.
But it
because,
picks up in the last 15 minutes like a lot. It does. It picks
like,
up a
things
lot.
happen out of nowhere.
They're
like, I
not
think
good at pacing.
the first hour of the movie, it's just conversation.
Yes,
It's literally
like
just
background.
two
Yeah.
angle shots, conversations, and then it fades to another two angle shot
Yeah.
conversation. Which is why I felt forever.
Yeah, this was like one take.
Yeah, no, literally, they did
Yeah,
not
definitely.
try. But other than that, like someone mentioned earlier that the main character, the writer, the director, and the star gave himself like the best love interest, and
Yeah.
it was
just the
like
best story.
a blonde woman, and at the end he confessed his love to her, and then they kissed, and it was really awkward. There was like 4 or 5 drone shots in there. They were counting. And yeah, that was really awkward. And then later when at the end, when we talk about the end.
What did they? Okay, because now I'm trying to think back.
Okay.
When did they even meet?
That's what I was
That's what
gonna
I was
say.
confused about.
He said
'Cause-
like I've loved you for years, and it's like I
You
thought
just
y'all
met,
had
bro.
COVID though. Like I thought y'all had the little coronavirus or whatever was going on.
Because we started seeing Layla, which is
Yes,
the
yes,
female
the
character.
female
the only
The
love interest.
name we
heroine,
knew
the love
too.
interest, right?
Like,
Yeah.
Roy was
And-
the main character.
Yeah. So for context,
name
Layla
was
worked
Roy?
for the government. And
Oh, yeah,
obviously
Layla
Okay,
worked
yeah,
for the
yeah.
government.
Roy and them were against.
But
Layla
she
played like a
was-
mole. She was
Yes,
like a mole
she
in the
was
government.
still Christian.
Yes, she was still Christian, but she was working for the government, who was looking
Oh,
for the
why did
group
they
of
leave?
Christians that Roy was in. So it was Roy spreading Christianity. He gathered all these people, and Layla was behind the scenes in the government, like trying to, like, I guess, deter them from finding out
Right.
information about who they were and what they were doing. And she ended up failing miserably. Someone can talk about how she, like, folded.
Oh my god. So there was we cut to Layla in the government office, I'd say, where she is at her desk and she's just typing away, not even like actually typing.
And a Word document with,
Yeah,
like,
she-
no words.
Yeah. But she is given papers by these characters and she puts them away.
Yes.
What we understood was that those sheets of papers supposedly had names of Christians, which were, going
Only
to be
first names, by the way.
Only
Yeah.
first names.
Yeah.
It was a very short list.
yeah, like Keith, like
Joe.
Jacob, like yeah, I'm sure they're on there. Like defo.
But yeah, continue.
And what was it? What was it saying?
Oh, the
That-
cases.
Yeah, she was going.
She
through
was
the
putting
cases.
it
Okay,
in
so-
her briefcase.
Right. So essentially just taking the names away so, like we said, they would deter away from and not be able to find them. Then another thing was she goes into the office of another like
Oh,
official
woman, yeah,
or
yeah.
government official.
It was the daughter of the whoever the world leader was. He was
no,
like dressed as
he
a,
wasn't the world leader.
or
but-
I don't know what he was. He was some
He was
kind
like-
of higher up.
Yeah.
The chief
Some kind of
And
officer
then
or
delete the
something.
document from there. So, we're seeing that she's doing all of this, but then, she's very, very brave, right? Like, oh my gosh, she's in the government. She's taking away all
She's
the
rebelling.
names.
Yes.
And at one point in the movie, she is confronted by the daughter of the higher up, which was the office or the person's office that she went into, and she gets confronted, and then just by saying, "I know you took away the names," she's like, "Yes,
Yes.
I did it," and I'm like,
bro.
And she's like, "I'm really sorry.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah."
it was like
No
a minute
backup?
of her stuttering, like, I
I
don't,
I
I didn't.
Yeah,
No,
literally.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, girl, stand up.
And
Like,
then-
come
Yeah.
on.
And then the person who was confronted, the daughter of the chief or whatever, she essentially just lore dumps, and she's like, "Well, my dad was really strict when I was younger, and I kind of like what you're doing," and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then that's when we get to the very end of the movie. I don't even want to say it.
Where bro dies. They shot
Essentially,
bro.
we go back to the beginning because
like
apparently everything has taken place in the last 3 months. So he gets interrogated, and then it's like 3 months ago, and then that's when everything happens, and then it cuts back to the chase scene where we started at, and they're like, "We found him. Okay, execute him." And then they take him to the woods and they shoot him, and then after that, it's like written and directed by special thanks to our Lord Jesus Christ, and then it's like bloopers of
Yeah.
him failing
Yeah.
to throw a rock through a window.
Heavy on special thanks to our
Yeah.
Lord Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
That was their special things.
Yeah, that was crazy.
No grip, no
No
lighting
nothing.
team. No.
Nothing.
Yeah,
And then
we
it was
don't
like,
care.
and then
Location.
after,
Every guy, like,
and then it was like written by, starring, directed, edited.
just the
The
same,
same guy.
like 2 people.
Okay, and then this is like I think where I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the
Okay, here we go.
this is the big how do you say shocker
Lore drop.
lore drop essentially. So in the movie Layla, the girl that he falls in love with, mind you, the director Joshua Wesley, who plays Roy, which is the main character, that was his name. He is a youth pastor in Germany, and
Makes sense.
Like actually.
yes, like legit. Like
That adds
this
up.
is the background. This is the
You heard
research
him
I did
preaching, like-
during the ad break. So Roy, as we know in the movie, falls in love with Layla. And Layla in the movie,
I don't want to know where
Oh,
this is
no.
going.
Layla in the movie was 18 and he was
No.
23.
No.
But wait, it gets better. I'm going to read you the headline. YouTube pastor waited 4 years for his girlfriend to turn 18 and propose. And then this is a picture of them. For the audio listeners,
Yeah.
this is a picture of both of them, and they're holding 18 balloons.
No, no. Bruh.
He's the one that's posting the photo, and it reads, "Finally 18. I can't describe with words what you mean to me and what kind of person you are. You have been my best friend for 4 years. You are my girlfriend that I love, appreciate, and respect." So essentially, he hid his relationship for 4 years, and decided to reveal to the world that they were dating when she had turned 18. And then shortly after proposed to her, which was the same proposal scene that we saw in the
I was
movie.
about to say, because at the end of the
Yes.
movie, before
Yeah.
He gets shot.
he is on his knees and he's about to get shot, we see
Life-
we
Montage.
see flashes.
Yeah,
I don't even know if
montage.
it's a,
A montage.
backflash
Yes,
or
it's some
we see
kind
flashes
of
of his life, like scenes that are not part of the movie at all. Like we
Right.
see him
Yeah.
proposing. I think we see him getting married, and then
Yeah.
a scene of his sister, of Roy's sister, along with a character that we saw in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then nowhere else.
Yes.
That sounds confusing
I'm
because it is
concerned.
confusing because we don't understand what was going
I'm
on
so
either.
concerned. That poor girl.
So,
Hold on.
so they were together
Yes.
when she was 14.
Yes. When
That
she was
makes
about
him
14.
19
And
if you
he
do the
was-
math.
No.
23.
No, because he wasn't
4 years
he was
ago.
18?
Yeah, oh, he was okay. So he was 23 when he proposed, and she was 18.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't know
they're
what the
4
math
years
is at.
No, they're 5 years
they're
apart.
5 years
You're
apart.
5
right.
years.
Yeah. So he was about 19, 20, and she was 14 years old. So just to illustrate the difference in age, that's a
1 to
middle
4.
schooler dating.
Oh, okay.
That's a middle
I don't-
schooler, an eighth
Hell
grader,
no.
dating someone who just started college.
I need the
Moment
boo
of
sound
silence for
button.
that. We'll insert a sound effect. And then I'm gonna read
Crickets,
some of the
Which was
some
the
of the
cricket.
Reddit information about this.
Not okay. Not okay.
I'm gonna read some of the Reddit information about this movie.
Oh wait, I wanted to have a fun quiz for you guys. How much money do you guys think? I know the answer.
Oh.
okay.
What was the budget for this?
Okay.
Indie film.
Let me.
Okay.
Okay. Let's put everything.
This is
in
according to a
perspective,
blog, by
right?
the way. If it's wrong, like nobody.
They
tell
needed
me
a
anything.
drone.
Yes,
Yes.
they needed a drone person.
that.
But how do you know they were licensed or they were hired?
needed
That's the
that
question.
drone.
I guess he literally.
I don't think. I think we should just
Okay.
take into account mostly equipment.
For context, the guy that made the video, he's also a YouTuber, so that might help with the budget. So he probably already had all of that equipment.
I'm gonna guess. Did they crowdfund it? Do you know? Did the article say?
No, I didn't read it.
I'm gonna put a wild guess out there. Maybe it's too much. I'm gonna say 15K.
I was thinking 3K.
I was thinking 10.
Okay. What's the answer?
Gag. It was
10K.
10K.
It was 10K.
Yeah, it was 10K.
Wow. That was a low budget production then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
know,
could have done a
definitely.
lot more.
I
They
didn't
could have
think
done
it
a
was
lot
that
more
high.
with that 10K.
I know.
I
Everyone
said-
was gagged in the blog I was reading. People
Okay.
were like, "What? 10K?"
10K is crazy.
It looked like 3K.
I don't, even,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
looked
even
like
know
3K.
where. I don't even know where you could see 10K in that. in the
10K is
movie.
just the
Yeah.
lenses.
Yeah.
It's just the lenses they
But
use,
no-
probably.
But like they
That LED light,
that
that
they got
blue
their
ass
fingers
LED
on.
light.
Like why was everything like
Everything was smudged.
Everything
yeah,
was
everything
smudged,
was
yeah.
smudged.
And shaky. They could have added some warp stabilizer.
10K, they couldn't put a little room in the budget for
Yes.
a colorist.
Yeah,
Like,
bro, literally.
like
What if
I-
it went to the music?
True. The
That
music
church
was
music.
kind of.
That Artlist subscription.
There's a couple that were fine,
Remix.
but
Yeah, I was gonna say there was one song I was like, wait, you know, I see where the money's going.
Amazing Grace had a remix.
Yeah,
They had
That
Eminem
was-
on it.
Yes.
that was
But back
crazy.
to this. So
yeah, the Reddit. What
to-
does Reddit think?
The Reddit. I'm gonna just read
you know,
from
the
this.
place with the best opinion.
There's gonna be one Reddit guy that's like, you guys don't
So-
understand.
No,
It
literally.
says, I also suspect strongly that most of the Americans in the cast are missionaries working with him. And remember that awkwardly introduced romance between Layla and Roy. It's between a 20-something director and, as I learned via Google after finishing, a teenage girl. The same teenage girl he started dating in real life when she was 14 and married her as soon as she turned 18. So they were, like... It says, I read somewhere else that it said that he was about 23 when they got married, and so she was 18. So yeah, that the math adds up.
He's hella wrong.
Yeah. And essentially, the reason this movie, or the reason we were able to find it so quickly online, is because apparently it was reviewed by Curtis Connor, who like brought that situation to light, and that's how they found him out to be like someone that was 23 dating an 18-year-old.
Shout out.
So he
Curtis
found the
Connor.
movie
Thank
first,
you
and
so
then they
much.
Yes.
they started
so he
digging.
reviewed it. He reviewed it. He reviewed the movie. And during the making of the film is when they got engaged. So she was turning 18 as they were filming and editing all of that. Because on his Instagram, it was like the proposal photo, and then the next post was, "Oh, hey guys, my movie's out." So she was literally probably 18. Like she had just turned 18 when they finished the movie, like when they were about to release it.
Evil star.
But
So evil.
a quick update on them. They are married with a child. Hold on, I'm gonna go to his Instagram account quickly.
Whoa.
So yes, they are married, and they have one child.
How old are they now?
I have no clue. So
It's been
she turned
3 years,
18
5.
in
The movie
2021.
was released in 2021.
Yes, the movie was
been
released
like
in
4 years.
2021.
Yeah.
So
Four
she's like
more
what,
years.
20?
I think that's a thing
Yeah.
to kind of note is
Yes.
that, you know, the movie was released in 2021. So this is their version of what 2025 could have been.
Yes.
So within
Yeah.
40 years, everything just would have
Yeah.
gone to.
What?
Yeah,
Communist
no.
revolution in 4 years is
That's
not
crazy.
possible. Like, genuinely.
No,
Like,
yeah,
that
I don't
doesn't-
know what timeline they were working on. But yes, they got engaged. The movie was released in 2021. They got engaged in 2020. I'm assuming while they were making the movie, obviously, because there was an engagement scene in there somewhere. Yeah, but they got engaged and they have a child now. 4 year, what is it? 4 years later?
Yeah.
Wow.
23 and
So 18 plus 4 is 22, right? Yeah. So she's 22 years old with a
he's
child.
27.
He's 20.
What? He didn't even look 27. Like, he doesn't even. He looked a lot older.
Has this guy made any other movies?
Or
is
like I
this
said,
kind of his feature?
he's a
His feature film?
YouTuber.
Yeah.
He obviously all of his Instagram comments are limited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine.
All of his Instagram comments are limited. And like I said, he's a YouTuber, so I'm sure he regularly makes faith-based content. And that's when we go quickly back to that communion scene before he died. There was essentially some kind of communion scene where he gathered all the believers he was evangelizing to on Zoom, and they did like a fake communion with a Cheerio and some water. And he had like crazy equipment. He had like some Sony camera and like a G Master
Oh, I
lens.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I would have raised my
So
budget.
I'm sure like that came from the YouTube, and I'm sure that inspired him to make the movie in the first place. But yeah, weird guy. Like I said, I don't think he's made any other films.
I think they should stay that way.
I wonder how much money they actually made, or how much money they're making from Tubi, because people are actually hate watching it. So
Jeez.
he's probably still making some money.
Worst
Yeah, I
rated.
mean, we saw it.
We fell into the trap.
Literally.
I'm going to see his. Okay. Oh no.
He
He's
has more.
done more movies.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna
God.
stay as far away from them.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think
done a movie called A Law for Christmas.
A law?
A Law. Okay. It's called A Law for Christmas. It was released in 2023, and it reads the description. A young politician has to leave the city for her career and finds her vocation and true love in the countryside. And I'm sure it's also faith-based. Director
Right.
Simon Wesley, so that's his brother. Upcoming, he has. Oh
No
wow, he
more.
has another
No,
upcoming
please
one.
no.
Y'all stop.
Unless
Take down his
unless
GoFundMe,
he's
please.
improved, unless he's improved,
His upcoming
but
credit is
he's-
called Drug Lord's Redemption.
Yeah,
Bro.
never mind. I don't think
Bro,
there's any
you're
hope.
done. Yeah, I tried to look at what the profit was, and
There's no information.
no
Yeah.
information. So that tells me enough.
Yeah, no, let's keep this guy behind bars.
Yes.
Yeah, not behind cameras.
No,
Hey.
yeah, not
Not
behind
even.
the scenes, behind
To
bars.
clarify, he never went to jail for dating a child.
No,
so.
I mean, if he kept it so hidden. which-
Yes. I wonder what his family, like the sister in the movie, or and his real life sister too. I wonder what they think about it.
It wasn't his actual sister.
That was his actual sister. Like in real life, that
Oh
was his
my
sister.
God.
So she was like, she saw everything anyway.
That was crazy.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I guess to close, how accurate would we say that was a portrayal? Now that we are in 2025, how accurate of a portrayal was that to the real 2025?
I'd say almost exact.
Yeah, I don't think
They
I.
got
Definitely
it
not.
right on the money.
Yeah, I think I can only count with one hand how many rights I have right now. Like,
There's no ice cream in front of us.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Must be illegal.
Yeah, it's got to be. No, I think that it was not.
Definitely not accurate at all.
Like they should have said it in like 30-30 or something.
You know
like
what's crazy?
yes.
Movies from the past will display the future as like this technological. Like,
It was not
super
technologically
hyper
advanced
modern,
at
but
all.
They did the opposite.
Yeah,
They were like, we're
literally.
in the rugged. We're in, like,
We're in
the
1925,
open.
bruh.
Literally.
Like,
yeah,
yeah, I know.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
The like police force had like 5 people. Like that is not accurate
At
which
all.
I think we all know.
Nope.
But yeah, definitely. I think an average of what half a star
Half a star.
from
half a
the,
star.
from the This Sucks crew.
Definitely.
I
Yep,
have to
this
concur.
sucks.
Yeah, so I would say this sucks.
Yes,
You know?
this definitely
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
Can confirm. And while we're closing, to clarify, the purpose of this podcast is to kind of see if there's anything redeemable
Right.
about whatever we're reviewing. If there's like a chance that it might be good, you know, like misunderstood in some kind of way. That was definitely, I think, understood by the public that it was very bad.
Yeah, but
Very,
I
very
think
bad.
I know the answer. But was there anything redeemable?
Absolutely not.
Because I really don't think
The
so.
background
After that
makes it even
news,
worse.
I'm good.
I really don't think so. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's gonna conclude our
That's
first
gonna conclude.
episode of the This Sucks podcast.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye,